Local loop unbundling actually refers to the process by which other providers get access to the incumbent's fixed network. Specifically, we're referring to the exchange, the copper lines that exist between the exchange and the customer premises. Traditionally, this has been completely owned and operated and maintained by the incumbent, in this particular case, Telkom. They have, in various degrees, managed to provide different levels of services. In some cases, those services are very good, and in other cases, based on capacity and financial constraints, has been poor. Telkom also had a universal service obligation to roll out these services to areas despite the commercial attractiveness. However, they have been reluctant to do that because it basically reduces their profitability. In order to offer lower prices, better quality of services, better services in general, as well as reach, local loop unbundling has been contemplated with the intention to start the process or commence local loop unbundling by November 2011. There are a couple of different types of mechanisms by which this happens. These are referred to access to bare copper, line leasing, as well as bitstream access. The opportunity that local loop unbundling offers to South Africa is to allow everyone, consumers, corporates and the like, to really benefit from a lower pricing and better level of service. That is the intention. However, there are lots of things that need to be ironed out before that can happen. The current costs for the network have been borne by Telkom over the past decades. And now these costs have to be passed on to other service providers who will need to use these services. The process, quite frankly, involves one of the processes involves co-locating operator equipment within Telkom's exchanges, current exchanges. But these have got significant limitations, such as the fact that the copper is old, the infrastructure is old, there is not enough space within the current exchanges, and a lot of these have to be worked on. But in general, the intention is good, and there is possibilities, as proven in several other countries, to enable better services at a better price. There are many countries in the world who have adopted local loop unbundling, some of them as early as 20 years ago, specifically the United States. The United States, France, Germany, Canada, Japan have now got millions of lines that have been unbundled, and customers have benefited from the better pricing and better services. However, there are many other countries who have adopted LLU who have not seen the benefits, and largely because of the reluctance of the incumbent operator to A, share their infrastructure, and B, share it at a competitive price. Yeah, there are significant risks associated with LLU. In South Africa specifically, the theft of the copper network is very high. There are estimates that last year alone, about 300 million rands worth of copper was stolen, and that obviously degrades the performance and ability of any provider to be able to provide services. So theft is one of the big risks of LLU. The other risks as well is that the current network equipment is unsuitable and unusable, because they have probably been there for a significant period of time, say 20 years. For another operator to take over the operations of the existing incumbent and to still offer significant improved services and better pricing is a risk. There's a lot of work that still needs to happen before LLU can be adopted. Lots of studies still need to be conducted on things like sizing, as I mentioned previously, on the exchange to see how much equipment can go in there, the distances and the use of the current network. The pricing model has to be completely agreed upon as to what the other operators are going to pay telecom. That in itself is going to cause a lot of stir in the market. Of course, we assume that the local incumbent is going to try and recover a lot of the costs, and there will be a lot of contention behind that. Local loop unbundling actually results in a significant amount of regulation, and ICASA will have to potentially step in to regulate that input price.